The Democratic Party has a new blueprint for 2028. It's not coming from the establishment, it's coming from AOC. Yeah, seriously, Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. They're talking about her like she's the one who's going to step up and lead the Democrats into the next era. And that sort of blows my mind because if she runs, what exactly is she even going to run on? Whatever it is, that's basically what every other Democrat who jumps in the race is going to run on too. Her ideas aren't some fringe thing anymore. They've become the party's ideas. Her talking points are the party's talking points. She's not the outlier, she's the blueprint. Let's try to walk through some of this. Look at the Democratic bench for 2028. It's pretty thin. Harris might try again, but good luck with that. Newsom's definitely jumping in. Heck, he's been eyeing the White House so long, he'd burn California down for a shot. Well, he's kind of already did that, but anyway. Bernie Sanders might even take one last swing, but I think even he knows he's too old. Still, he is the godfather of the whole socialist wing that AOC represents, and that's why her stuff isn't fringe anymore. It's the party line now. And while AOC might not win, she won't win. The real danger is what happens to the party if she does become the standard. I'll explain why that's the part that actually worries me in a moment. So, what would she actually run on? The Green New Deal, obviously. That's her signature thing. And if she runs, every Democrat will suddenly act like it's the most brilliant, necessary plan ever written again. Never mind the insane price tag. Never mind that it reads like a wish list. There's nothing really there. It's pure fantasy. But they'll all line up behind it because it's become part of their identity. Immigration, she won't call it open borders, she'll call it humane reform. But we all know what that means, and the rest of the party will echo it, even though the American people have been crystal clear. We don't want that. Her wing says it's the moral position, so everyone falls in line. Transgender issues? Big time she's going after that. She's leaned all the way into that, and the party follows. But it's still a niche issue. You don't win national elections on stuff most Americans are uncomfortable with, especially men and women's sports and kids getting rushed into gender stuff. Inflation? She'll talk about it nonstop, but she'll do the normal thing. Blame the corporations, billionaires, greed, everything except the actual policies that caused it. Every other Democrat will say the same thing. Funny how it spiked under Biden and has only come down under Trump, even if it's still sticky. Then you've got foreign policy. She'll hammer Trump on the Iran situation, saying he abused his power by not getting Congress's approval. But anyone who's been paying attention knows Congress hasn't formally declared war since World War II. Almost every military action since has been unilateral presidential action or through the War Powers Act. They just won't mention that part. And they definitely won't mention the cost. She'll hammer the defense budget to please her base, but when it comes to the right causes, the checkbook is suddenly wide open. It's foreign policy by hashtag, and now the rest of the party is following that lead. And keep in mind, when it comes to foreign policy overall, she treats it like a college seminar where there's always a moral answer. But in the real world, it's about leverage and national interest, things her blueprint doesn't really have a plan for. But it's not just about policy, it's about the narrative. That brings us to their biggest talking point, the threat to democracy. That'll be her greatest hit. Vance, Rubio, whoever the Republican ticket is, they're all Trump 2.0. The whole party will repeat it. They'll conveniently forget how they spent years lying about Biden's health. Then, when it became impossible to hide, they just installed Kamala Harris without a single vote. Real democratic process, right? Victim politics? AOC basically doubled it down and wrote the modern playbook. Oppressed groups, marginalized voices, the whole catalog. The party can't function without someone to save, even if they never actually solve anything for those people. And of course, there'll be the usual rewriting of the past, bringing up Jim Crow, like Republicans wrote those laws. They know most media won't bother giving the full context. Just say the two parties switched and move on. Here's the thing. These aren't just AOC's ideas anymore. They're the Democratic Party's default setting. Whether it's her, Newsom, Harris, or Bernie, you're getting the same platforms, same rhetoric, same worldview. The sad part is it's all on the fringe. I actually think they know it is, but they just don't care. The reality is there's no strong voice on the left that makes normal people go, okay, that one might actually be a problem. The party's disjointed, out of touch, and inventing battles that only exist in their heads. If they can convince you there's a crisis, maybe you'll let them solve it. The solution never comes, though. They win by keeping the problems alive. Look, I know AOC herself is never going to be president. There just aren't enough people who take her seriously enough for that. But some of these ideas are sticking. Look at Mamdani winning in New York City. I never thought I'd see something like that even a few years ago, and I already thought that city was lost. The bigger point is, it doesn't matter if she runs or not. She'll lose, but her ideas are still the ones driving the party. They genuinely believe these are the issues all of America cares about. They had 4 years to make their case and they blew it. That's why Trump came roaring back. Kamala would be president right now if they had. They still haven't gotten the message. They haven't learned. And when you see people on the left nodding seriously about AOC in 2028, it's honestly kind of scary. So yeah, AOC being treated as viable tells you everything. Their bench is so weak, it's basically a folding chair, and somehow she's the one they're propping up as the future. That's the part that really gets me. Not that she might file the paperwork, that's whatever. It's that anyone can look at her record, her ideas, her platform, and with a straight face say, yeah, that's presidential material. That's the real warning sign, because if AOC is viable, then the whole party is drifting in her crazy direction. Green New Deal fantasies, open border activism, fringe social issues, victim politics, blame shifting, rewriting history, fighting imaginary enemies. This is the scary part I mentioned earlier. She's not the exception. She's not the joke. She's the template. And if that's the template, the future of the Democratic Party looks a lot like its present. Out of touch, convinced that America secretly wants what they're selling, even after 2024 proved the exact opposite. No. AOC won't be president. That's not the scary part. The scary part is that her ideas, the ones that don't work, that crumble under real scrutiny, that have failed everywhere they've been tried, are now the guiding star for an entire major party. And if we don't pay attention to that, that says a lot about where America could end up too. Because if AOC is viable, then viable doesn't mean what it used to. But what do you think? Is she the template for the future, or is the party heading for a dead end? Let me know in the comments.